In this algebra teaching worksheet, the focus is to learn to deal with fraction. So I will show you a simple example of how fractions can appear in the expansion. And I will also show you the typical fractions algebra. How do you add fractions algebra? How do you subtract fraction algebra? So fraction algebra is quite a main part of algebra. In the Sec 2, the Sec 2s are also still learning how to deal with fraction algebra, but their fractions algebra are harder. Okay, so let's look at example 1. Okay, so by the time you reach here, brackets is not an issue with you. You should be able to know how to get rid of bracket. So we get rid of bracket by expanding whoever that is outside. Okay, so for example, in 1a, if you look at it, there's only round bracket. So you're going to get rid of the round bracket. Okay, who is standing outside? A fraction is standing outside. So if a fraction is standing outside, you are still going to expand it in by doing a multiplication. So 1/7 times 6x. So if you're thinking, right, 1/7 times 6x, you do the number times number. 1/7 times 6, that will be a 6/7. 6/7y, 6/7x. Okay, the next one will be 1/7y minus y. So for the x, if you take a look, right? Okay, so if everything, if I want to simplify, I can simplify it this way. So for this part, I will do on my calculator. The coefficient is 1/7 minus 1. So I'll get a minus 6/7y. So that can be my answer. So this can be my answer. But if I would like to make it into a single fraction, so if I would like to make it into a single fraction, this will be the numerator. This will be the numerator. So that will be 6x minus 6y over 7. So they got the same denominator. Because they got the same denominator, I can make it into a single fraction. So in primary school, we also learn this. The denominator has to be the same, then we can make it into a single fraction. So your answer can either be this or this, depending on the instruction. If the question needs to be in single fraction, then it has to be this. If the question never says that it needs to be a single fraction, then it's all right to leave it as this part. 6/7x minus 6/7y. That's it. Okay, and then here, the next example, we got a round bracket and a square bracket. So if you still recall, okay, when there's a round bracket and a square bracket, who will disappear first? The round one will disappear first, followed by the square one. So target the round one first. And the guy standing outside the round one is a -2. Okay, so what I will do is I will ignore everyone first. I will focus on the round bracket. So I will get a minus 10x plus 2y. So no more round bracket. Then now, who is standing outside the square bracket? 3/4. So just multiply in. So just multiply in 3/4 times 9. So I'll get 27/4x. And I'll get 30/4x. Then I will get 3/2y. So if the question didn't require that I need to make a single fraction, I can just simplify this part. If you look, you can just key in the coefficient. You calculator your coefficient. You calculator it, you will get minus 3/4. And this is a y. So you can leave the answer like this. But if they do need you to make it into same denominator. Okay, so I go a bit further. So if they need to make same denominator, okay, usually you'll feel very confused. So you allocate this and this, right, to the numerator. Look at it as a numerator like this. And then the y will also belongs to the 3. So it's easier if you do it this way. You see it as negative 3x/4. Okay, so if the question needs you to make it into a single fraction, then you do need to multiply by 2 like this. Only when it is same denominator, then you add the numerator. So can you see I'm adding the numerator, this plus this. So if the questions need you to express in a single fraction, then you got to be doing this. Okay, so I'm trying to make same denominator if the question need you to. Otherwise, I don't need to. Okay, so there are 2 ways that you can approach this type. Okay, the more complex one is where you have such a fraction where the numerator has a bit more algebra. Okay, so I'm going to go on to this type of question. This is the one that really confuse students. Again, the ones who are confused are the ones who don't follow the steps. So I'm going to lay out the steps and then you try to follow. Okay, but before I lay out the steps for this type of question, okay, you got to recall in primary school, what did you do when you see 2/7 plus 1/4? So in primary school, when you see things like this, your teacher will tell you, make same denominator. Your teacher will tell you, make same denominator. Okay, I'm sure you recall doing this in primary school. You will have to do it like so many times. So when you got same denominator, you can add the numerator. So you do a 8 plus 7/28. 8 plus 7, yeah, 15. All right, so when you have same denominator, you can just merge them into one single fraction. So by doing a numerator plus numerator. Or sometimes, of course, it will be numerator minus numerator. Okay, the same thing is going to be for fractions algebra, or what we call algebraic fraction. But you need to have brackets for the numerator. So they didn't come out with brackets. So the first step, okay, I'm going to label the first step, bracket the numerator. Okay, bracket. That's the first step. Okay, so I'll be showing you example. Try to follow the steps. If you don't meet the steps, you will be okay for this. If you tend to meet the step, okay, something will just go wrong, then you will tell me how to do. You'll keep asking how to do. So I'll be telling you, I already show you the steps. So follow the steps. Okay, then I will make same denominator. Make same denominator first. So I need to multiply something to make same denominator. So I'm going to multiply by 3. So I got 3 outside the bracket now. Then I'm going to multiply by 5. I got 5 outside the bracket now. Okay, third step. Numerator plus numerator, or the numerator minus numerator, depending on the question. So now this is a plus. So numerator plus numerator. Then the fourth step, expand the numerator. Expand the numerator. Expand the numerator, simplify the numerator. So what do I mean by that? That means you do your arrows. Do your arrows in the numerator. So by now you should be very good with the arrows already. And then what do we mean by simplify? That means you put all the x together. 6x and 5x, you get a 11x. The number minus 9 minus 10, you get a minus 19. So that is your final answer. So can you see? You bracket the numerator. How many numerator you just bracket? Okay, then you make same denominator. After that, you do the number plus number or number minus number. Sorry, not number, numerator. Numerator plus numerator, numerator minus numerator. Or you can think of top plus top, top minus top. Top is the numerator. Then you expand. Okay, so don't expand yet until you do the numerator plus numerator or the numerator subtract numerator. So remember, it's this one first, then you go and expand. So most people, their mistake is in the third and the fourth step. Okay, we shall see. Okay, so in the next one, I see a whole number. So if you look at it, the next one, I see a whole number. And I see one of the numerator has already gotten their bracket. Okay, so what I will do is the whole number, okay, I'm going to change to 6 over 6. Okay, whole number is just like 1 is the same as 1 over 1. Okay, you can change it to any denominator. You can change it to 2 over 2. You can change it to 3 over 3. In this question, I'm going to change it to 6 over 6. Okay, then I got a x here. I need to bracket here. Okay, so in a way, right now, if you look at all the numerator, okay, I already gotten the bracket except for the first one. The first one is a number, so if you don't bracket out, that's fine. So the first step is you make sure you got brackets for the numerator. Then I'm going to make same denominator. So I'm going to multiply by 2, multiply by 2. So I will have a 6 over 6, x over 6. Okay, 2 times 2, I will get a 4. So same denominator. So I make same denominator already. After the same denominator, what will be the next step? It's all subtraction. So you should be doing numerator minus numerator. So I'm going to subtract all the numerator. Then I'm going to expand the numerator Then I'm going to simplify the numerator. So I'm going to expand. Then I'm going to simplify. I'm going to put all the numbers together. I'm going to put the x together. So that's my answer. Okay, can see? So don't skip steps. Get your steps very clear. If you cannot get the answer correct, usually you miss out certain steps or you do certain steps wrongly. You stay closely to the steps. It's very easy to earn such marks. Okay, let's repeat again. Okay, so here, okay, the first step, bracket the numerator first. Yeah, I'm going to make same denominator. So what will be the same denominator that you will make? 3, 6, 4. So when you see 3, 6, 4, okay, what denominator will you make? Okay, you can make, can we make a 12? So we try to make a 12. So how do I get 12? So I multiply by 4. So I got 4 bracket. And here you multiply by 2. Then I get a 12. Here I multiply by 3. Then I got a 12. So after the same denominator. So here there's a mixture of minus and subtract. So I should do numerator minus numerator. Then I add the numerator. So I got 3 of them. So do you realize when I'm going to handle the numerator, I didn't care about the bracket yet. I make it the long one. Then I'm going to do the expansion. Then I'm going to expand the numerator. Then I'm going to simplify the numerator. 1, 2, 1, 2. So by now your simplification should be very good. So I expand and then I organize the numerator carefully. I organize all the x. I organize the numbers. And then that's my final answer. Okay. So, okay. Okay, one last example, then your job is to be showing me. Okay, so far, the first step, we always kind of bracket the numerator. But in part D, we already gotten the bracket. Do you realize they kind of put the bracket there already? So if they put the bracket there, you leave it. Don't touch anything. So they already did the bracket. So don't go and expand also. So if they already do it for you, then let it be. So you make same denominator. Don't try to expand the bracket now. You can, but then later on, if you get too confused, then it's very troublesome. So you stay with the method. So make same denominator. Between 6 and 8, what will be the denominator? Most of you will be thinking like 48. Okay, I'll be thinking like 24. So I'm trying to get a 24. How can I get a 24? Times 4 times 4. So I got a 20 with the bracket. Then here I will do a times 3 times 3. Then I will get a 9 with the bracket. Then I will do a numerator minus numerator. So I will do a numerator minus numerator. I got a very big fraction. So most of the time you need to use your ruler. Okay, then I will expand the numerator. Expand the numerator, simplify the numerator. So expand, 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 expand. So you should be very good with your expansion already. No sign error. Then put the x together. You get a 29. Put the y together, 40 minus 18. You get a 22. So that will be the final answer. Okay, so do you realize the steps are the same? So if they have helped you with the first step, then you continue. So generally, you keep to this step, your fraction will be 100%. So there will be a activity that I usually get the set 1 to do. So if I give you 10 fraction, will you be able to get 10 out of 10? Okay, so this is the kind of fraction algebra, which the correct name is what? Algebraic fraction. It's the same thing, algebra fraction.